My name is Keith Thompson. I'm with the TriMech Data Management team, and I'm going to be presenting what's in those docs. This is a topic that, where if you've ever tried finding a document on your computer but can't remember the file name or the folder that it's in, only a word or phrase that may be in the file, then this seminar is going to help you, because wouldn't it be great if you could find those documents just using Word in the file that you can remember? Okay. Well, SOLIDWORKS PDM Professional offers a way to search these documents, whether it's the document content or custom properties, using the Windows index search. So in this webinar, we're going to show you how to enable Windows search, how to configure the SOLIDWORKS PDM content search, and then how to use PDM search to perform these content searches, and make it really easy to find the right file using just words in a document. So first, we're going to start off by looking at how do we enable Windows search service. Well, this Windows search service is in Windows, and you would open your control panel and look for indexing options. When you open up the indexing options, this is what the screen is going to look like, and we're going to go into that in a second. I just want to give an overview. You would then click the Modify button, which would then open a second window where you now have a chance to find the location of the PDM vault or folder that you want to have Windows index for you, the search index. Next, you would then check the checkbox to enable search for the PDM vault. So you're basically going to use the browse to locate the vault and then check the vault that you want to index, if you got multiple vaults or if you just have one vault. Then you would go ahead and click the OK button and close the dialog box. So that sets up the first part of being able to enable searching. At the bottom, you'll see that if you want more details about this process, the SOLIDWORKS PDM or SOLIDWORKS Manage Installation Guide, there's a section on installing the Windows Search Service that you can look and get more information. The second thing that you want to do is then set up the PDM Content Search. Okay, so you're going to launch inside the PDM administration tool, and you want to make sure that you log in as a user with the permission Can Update Index Setting Permissions. Once you have that permission, you would expand the vault that you want to index, right-click on the indexing node, and then click Open. That will bring up a index setting dialog box. And so you'll check the box that you want to index that file vault. You'll then, under the file vault to index, you would check Windows Search. And then under the archive location, if you double click on that path, it will allow you to then be able to browse to the file vault that you want, the folder that you want to search or index. If that archive server is on a different machine than the SQL server, then you will need to enter the UNC path to make sure you can get to that archive folder. The archive folder must be accessible on a local attached storage or SAN storage on the archive server machine. Okay. Once that's done, you go ahead and click the OK button, and that will set it up. So what's in those docs? Let's go ahead and try it based on what I just covered and show you how that works. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go into this setup here. So I've got a couple of vaults on my system. I'm going to go ahead and open one of them. Now this PDM vault already has indexing set up on it, and I'm going to show you how that search will work, and then I'm going to go ahead and set up indexing on another vault that doesn't have indexing set up. So I'm going to log into this vault and just browse into a folder. So here I've got a Word document, and if I select the Word document, right, I can see the data card. But what I want to do is just preview the content of that document, because I want to search for a word that's in this document, just to show you how that works. So let's say, for example, I see project sponsor or escalation. So any of those words are things that I'll be able to find because they are not on this data card. There's nowhere in this data card or comments that you see any of that information. So if I don't know where this file is, I can then use any of those, the content in the document to be able to find this document wherever it happens to be. So let's look for escalation. And I'm going to browse away from this document. The other thing is I've got a couple of SOLIDWORKS documents in here as well. And if I click on this arm, I obviously can't see the custom property here. If I click on the data card, the custom property should have a description within the custom property. These blue fields is what's in the document. So for example, wedge would be in the actual content of the custom property of this part file. So let's go back to the top of the vault. So now I'm just somewhere in the vault. I just logged in. I'm going to go to the search tool, open up the search tool, and I can search by any of these fields, but if I don't remember the name or the description or the number, right, I can then go to this tab that says content. And this content allows me to search in the file, in the content, or in the custom properties. If I just want one or the other, I can check the box to unselect. I'll just leave it here. And now I'm just going to go ahead and type and that's all I remember of the word, and click here. And every document that now has escalation in it, you can see I've got several of these project checklists that has escalation in those documents. And then I can combine this search with other things that I might know. So for example, if I just want this 3000 series, I can go back to location and in the description, put in 3000. So now it's using the 3000 plus the content to search. And so that it'll just find that one document. Okay, let's take this off and let's go back here and take the 3000 out. Now I'm going to search again for content, but this time I'm going to search on that content that was in that arm SOLIDWORKS file. So that was wedge. Run the search, and anything with wedge in the custom property of that file is going to come back. Okay, again, I can do combination to filter down to specifics by adding more search criteria, but you get the idea here that I can search. So this, as I said, this vault is already set up with indexing. So let's take a look at another vault that does not have indexing and see how we get that set up. So here I am in another vault. This vault is called Manage Vault. I go into my design folder again. Here is my design. So I see, again, I have a project checklist file. I can look at the preview, right? It's a similar document. So again, escalation is in this document. So I could try to search for escalation. So if I go back to the top of the vault and just pull up my search tool again, nothing is here, so just search on escalation and run the search. Okay, nothing comes back because indexing has not been set up for this particular vault. So let's go ahead and see how we set that up. So let's clear that off. Let's go back to the top of the vault. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is bring up the control panel to enable Windows. So control panel. Okay, here is indexing option, not internet option, but indexing option. So right click and say open. Okay, so here's the locations. I'm going to just click on the modify button. And then this button here now is going to allow me to go ahead and search. So I click on it, and in here I can see here are my vaults. This managed vault is the one that I want to now index. So I would just go ahead and click on that and then say okay. And now we can go ahead and close. Okay, so that's the first part of that. Now I need to go into the admin tool and tell PDM to enable that. So let's go ahead and type admin here. Bring up the PDM administration tool. Okay, and then I'm going to expand this vault. So I'm going to log into it. And then there is indexing right here. So I'm going to right click and say open. Okay, and I'm going to check the box that I want to index my file vaults, and Windows search, that's already selected. So here I'm just going to double click on this, which will bring up the path, and I'm just going to expand it. So it's already captured that information. If it wasn't the right vault, I would hit browse and go out and find the vault that I want to make sure. So I've got it here already. I'm just going to go ahead and click OK, and click OK again, which then closes that out. So now I can go back to my vault. First thing I'm going to do is just to make sure that that setting takes, I'm going to actually log off of that managed vault and then log back in. Okay, so log back into that vault. Let's go ahead and, right, so I already know what word I want to search for in this document. So I'll just go to the top, bring up my search tool, go to content, type in the word that I'm looking for, run the search, and see why. Okay, all right, so a little bit of troubleshooting here on the fly. So let's go back to my administrative tool, go back to indexing. Let's open this up. And I'm going to actually browse to that specifically. Let's go to Program Files, SOLIDWORKS Corp, PDM, Data, and here is the vault. So I'm going to say select that, say OK, OK, and let's log out again. Okay, and let's go back in. Okay, run my search. Okay, why is that? Okay. All right, so let me just double check a couple of things here on my control panel. And go back to my indexing. And let's go to modify. Let's expand. Okay, all right, so looks like I want to go here to Program Files, SOLIDWORKS Corp, and PDM, this data, and this is the actual one. So I was actually pointing to the wrong spot here. This is the one that I want to actually index. So go ahead and say OK, close. Let's close that. Let's run the search, and there we go. So you want to make sure you're not pointing to the actual vault, but the location where the data, the actual vault archive files is located. So that was a good exercise so that if you run into this problem, you'll know how to troubleshoot it. So if I go back and look for the word escalate, you can see now I'm finding that word, okay? And if I go back to my vault, let's look at a SOLIDWORKS document. So let's go into design, let's go into project one. Let's look in my design data. So I've got this assembly here, and I can open up this assembly in SOLIDWORKS just to see what custom properties I might be able to. I'm not going to check it out. I'm just going to do a read only here. Okay, there we go. All right, so so let's look at the properties of this document here, and I can see here are some of the custom properties here. So I've got description, I've got drawn by this SM, I've got this type built. So any of these custom properties here, I could certainly search for. I could add, you know, something in here. I don't have my properties list. So let's go ahead and let's say we want to search for either chassis or SM in this document. Okay, so let's go ahead and close it. We don't need to save. And let's go back here. Let's go to the top of the vault. Okay, bring up our search tool. Let's go to content. Okay, and let's type SM and run the search. So anything with SM is now going to come back. SM just happens to be the user who was the one who created these files. So I can see there is the information. Now I might want to search for, I think there was a LH chassis was in that document. So let's just type this as capital just so we can read it. So LH chassis and run it. So anything that had LH chassis in the custom property, which was in the description, is going to automatically. So that's how you set this up. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and see what questions you guys may have. That's pretty much the end of the presentation. So let's, okay. So one question I have here is, do you check indexing in admin? I'm not sure if Bob was just trying to help me when I was doing the troubleshooting, but yes, you would. So there's two places to check: in the administrative tool that you've got it properly mapped, and in the Windows search indexing option. Those are the two places that needs to be set. So what I was doing was, when I went in and I was trying to troubleshoot or set it up in the control panel, under the indexing option, right? When I went to modify and went to this location, the first thing that I saw was this manage, which is my vault view, which is not the same as the path where this vault archive folder is looking. So I had checked this box, but that was not the right spot. what I needed to do is to go all the way through my program files, look at where this is installed. So it's on the SOLIDWORKS Corp, SOLIDWORKS PDM, under the data folder, and these are where my vaults archives are actually. So that's the box I needed to check. Okay. See if there's any other questions. Okay, any information on iFilters? I'm not sure what iFilters are, so Robert, if you could maybe explain a little bit, I could try to answer that. Okay, can we use and or condition? Yes, you can. In the, let's close this back to the search. So within search itself, okay, you do have options in here for variables where you can use and or conditions in here, as well as what you have. As a matter of fact, this entire interface for searching can be fully customized. This is just the default out of the box search setup, but you can completely customize this with the types of information you want to search on. But you can search on data cards. So for example, any information on a data card that you can remember, you can pick the specific data card that you want to use and enter search criteria in this dialog box as well. You could even search on the workflow. If you've got different workflows, you want to find out, what's approved or what's in development or what's under change or whatever workflow status you have, you can search by that and find documents by that as well. And any of these you can combine with each other to create and or conditions. Okay, let's see what other questions you guys have. Okay. So how much of this applies in standard? Well, standard does not give you content search. So this is strictly a PDM Professional functionality. So you have to have PDM Professional to be able to use the context search. Okay, so Robert came back and says, must install iFilter on SQL Server. No, you don't need the iFilter at all. I mean, this is using Windows. It's not using the SQL search, index search. It's using Windows search. So you don't need the iFilters to be able to do this. Does indexing slow down the system or server performance? And once it's indexed, it should be okay. I don't think it affects performance significantly where it's going to bog down the system. I mean, it does use resources to run the indexing, but I don't think it's going to be significantly impactful. You also have, if that should ever happen, you also have the option of just simply turning off the indexing. If you see that once you turn it on, you see performance degrade significantly, then you can always turn it off. Okay, see if there is any other questions. Windows search in the admin console. No, so there's, again, what is the difference between index search and Windows search in the admin console? So if you go to the admin tool here, right, you've got this indexing, right, the Windows search and the indexing search. So this uses the Windows search. This indexing search, it uses, so this index search basically indexes everything regardless of the folders. The difference with the Windows search is you specify which specific folder, so you're limiting the search, whereas the index search is going to do more of a entire system search versus narrowing it down using Windows search to just say, I just want to search my Vault folder, not everything that is on my system. So that is going to be much more of a performance impact using index search versus Windows search. Okay, let's see if there is any other questions. Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions. Well, I want to thank you guys for attending today's webinar. If you have any additional questions, go ahead and enter them in the question box, or you can always just contact us at TriMech, either through our support or there's a chat box at the TriMech.com website that you could also communicate with us, or just give us a call. Yes, will there be a video available of today's session? Yes, that is recorded, and so you will be able to get that when it's published. Let's see. Okay, I think that's all the questions that I have. Again, feel free to either send us a contact us on our website or at our phone number, or again, just through tech support, and certainly we'll be able to help you. Well, have a great day, guys. It's been a pleasure presenting to you today.